afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the official live launch of the NAPA Activity Professional Pathway. My name's Hilary Woodhead. I'm NAPA's Executive Director. As I said, this is a live event, so anything can happen. We have a panel of contributors, the people that you can see on the screen right now. We hope you can see them, but we can't see you. So just so you're aware of that. The event is also being recorded. You might see a little recording sign in the corner there. That's so that we can share this webinar across our social media platforms over the next few days and on our YouTube channel. Please ask questions in the Q&A and post your comments in the chat as well. We'd love to hear who's here, who's joining us, and your thoughts and experience as well around training and qualifications. So over the next 45 minutes or so, we will share the programme and describe the pathway. We will hear from experts in the field on the importance of its professional development and the recognition of activity engagement. We have a panel, Trischitta Turner from Skills for Care, Director of Engagement, Sue Trischitta, who's our Professional Development Manager here at NAPA, and Michael Holding and Emma Hales, who are NAPA qualified activity workers and leaders, and they are working towards becoming NAPA recognised activity professionals. We also have a few words of support from April Dobson, Head of Dementia Care and Wellbeing at Hallmark Care Homes. So today is all about demonstrating our commitment to professionalising activity provision. We're proud to share this professional development programme, and it's been very much developed in consultation with our members and our supporters. And the point of the programme is to equip activity and care teams to develop their knowledge and skills so that they can prioritise wellbeing and promote activity, arts and engagement. Sue, hello. Please would you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about the history of the professional development offer at NAPA, how it's evolved and how we've ended up kind of here today.
There we go, first technical hitch. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Lovely to know you're there. Can't actually see you're there, but it's nice to know you're there. NAPA was registered first as a charity in 1997, and from then it's been one of its main concerns was to raise the status of activity coordinators and to develop training, qualifications, methods of support and resources for activity providers. So we started back in 1997. We launched a level 3 qualification all the way back then, which had a very small take up. I think we just tried to run before we could walk. So then we decided to walk a bit. So we had sharing days, which took place mainly in London, very small affairs, 20, 30 people. But bear in mind the membership at that time was about 300. So it's sort of quite relative. Those sharing days were great opportunities for networking, sharing resources, sharing ideas. From then we thought, well, actually, we want actually something that the activity coordinators can do. So we came down from the level 3 and started looking at a different qualification. So we partnered that time with NCFE and developed a non-accredited qualification. That was actually very well received, and that sort of kept going. And then we got, I think, about 2-3 years later and decided, well, actually, we want activity coordinators to have a recognised qualification, like a lot of the other members of staff in the care setting. And so we partnered this time with OCN London and developed the qualification, the level 2, which is registered on Ofqual. It's a real qualification, called the Award in Supporting Activity Provision in Social Care. Quite a long mouthful. We also know it as the NAPA Worker course. So that's our first thing in our first step. We continued doing the sharing days, and then we suddenly thought, let's step it up a notch again, you know, always striving onwards and upwards. And we had our very first NAPA conference in London for activity coordinators, and that was, I think we had about gosh, well, we were actually turning people away at the door. It was quite, it was quite incredible. I think there were about 150 people, which was really staggering. So we then had obviously our level 2, and as people were completing that, they said, well, what can we do now? You know, what have you got now? Okay, so thinking again on our feet, we partnered back again with OCN London, and we developed the level 3 activity course, otherwise known as the NAPA leader course. So we're getting there. We're really sort of going on our way now. Those 2 courses, I think we've got a mixture of NAPA activity workers and leaders of about 1,000 people now, which is very big numbers. So that's really, really good. And they're increasing. Every day we keep getting more and more applications. So it's so nice to see the workforce getting skilled up in their profession. It's really wonderful.
Absolutely.
So where did we go?
So now we are where we are, and now I'm going to come back to you, Sue, in a minute. But I'd really like to bring Georgina Turner in here, just to say a few words about, you know, why is it important to kind of professionalise the workforce and have these qualifications, Georgina? Do you think?
Thanks, Hilary. And can you hear me okay now? Is my
we
sound
can.
Okay. Great stuff. Yes, well, Skills for Care is all about our starting point, really, is that people who need care and support get the best possible care and support when they're supported by people who are confident and skilled at what they do. As you know, we work with employers across England and partners like NAPA and with the Department of Health and Social Care to support employers to harness data and evidence to make really good decisions, to recruit well, and critically to retain their workforce and their leaders by investing in their learning, development and their well-being. So we're really proud and pleased to have a long-standing partnership with colleagues at NAPA. So why do we think it's important? Well, we know that leaders and managers who invest in the learning and development of their team and support their colleagues support those colleagues to grow in skills and confidence. They'll keep their workforce longer, and the people they support will have better outcomes. And equally, we know that leaders and managers who, against all odds, sometimes can build networks with colleagues to share ideas and sometimes to share the burden as well. They deliver better quality services. So we run more than 100 manager networks across England. And when we asked the managers who attended, they said 70% of them told us it significantly reduced the isolation they felt in their role and made them more confident and positive about their role as well. So it's really wonderful to see where you've taken the work so that you've developed a pathway, really, so there's something for everybody at all different levels that can help people kind of develop in their role and progress through as well. So it's really wonderful to be here, and it's great to see. And I think the final thing that I just wanted to say as a bit of an opener really was just to think about well-being of our workforce. And it's without doubt that the workforce is the sector's biggest asset, most valuable asset, most important asset, and supporting the good health and well-being of our workforce is really significant factor in making sure people get good quality care and support and can live as independently as possible. And for both the workforce and for people using care services, the comfort and confidence that comes with engaging in meaningful activities is just absolutely fundamental. So working in social care, we know it's always been crucial, it's always been challenging, and never more so than over the last 15 months or so. So it's absolutely critical that we make sure the wellbeing of our workforce remains a focus for all of us. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to colleagues at NAPA for driving this really, really important work forward.
Thank you so much, Georgina. Those words really mean the world to us. And I think, you know, Sue, who's been driving the professional development offer at NAPA for more years than she'll admit to, is sat there looking quite emotional. So, you know, thank you very much for those lovely words. And I loved how you said, you know, this is absolutely essential. This is fundamental. Those words are really going to stick with me this afternoon. So thank you very much for that, and for our ongoing relationship with Skills for Care, which, you know, is very important to us. And the support that you give us year in, year out, and how you hold us to account in terms of being an endorsed provider. You know, that's a lot, you know, and you know, that we really value that relationship. So thank you for being here, and Georgina's going to stay with us for the Q&A. So please do pop your any questions you have for Georgina into the chat or into the question and answer box. So back to you then, Sue. So obviously this professional development programme and pathway, you know, this is years of work that's come together here that we're launching today. Can you share the pathway with us, perhaps explain the process a little bit?
Gosh, deep breath. Right, okay. So at the moment we have a foundation level, which is the e-learning for activity coordinators. So we've introduced that as an induction course because activity coordinators haven't got their own induction, and they need it because although their job is very similar to a care worker, it's not only that, it's the extra bits, and we're looking at the extra bits here. In addition to that, we have another foundation course which has just been launched, which is for managers, because managers were always asking me, oh, I don't know what model of activity provision, what should I have in my care home? And this e-learning actually helps them making those decisions that are right for them and the care setting. So that's our foundation level. Then we have the next level up. Actually, I might change my background just to make it a more exciting picture for you. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Oh, gosh, there you go.
There it is. There's the pathway.
Ooh, we can't see it because I'm in the way. Sorry about that. So you can vaguely see on the right-hand side in the light blue colour, induction courses, which is the one, it's the starting out course. That's the bottom of the pathway for activity providers. The second one is the level 2 activity course, or the NAPA activity worker course. And the level 3, which is a nice orange colour, that's the NAPA level 3 or the NAPA activity leader course. Now there's the very tantalising red bit at the bottom, which is the next stage. I'm not going to say the final stage because things never end. We never know where we're going. So this next level will be the NAPA recognised activity professional level. And we sort of got to thinking, well, what extra skills can we give an activity leader to enable them to sort of do their job better, to get more out of the teams, to get even more out of the residents, maybe build better links with communities. So we thought the missing link maybe is leadership skills. So we haven't created because it's already there, but we've sort of, pounced on. There's a level 2 developing leadership skills course. And we made the decision that if somebody had done the activity leader course and then does the developing leadership skills course, they will become a NAPA recognised activity professional. Whoop, yes. 23 years down the road from the very first thing of raising the status, and I think I'd say we're about halfway there. There's a long way to go, but we're halfway there, and it's amazing.
Brilliant, Sue, thank you. And you know, as I said, this is come about because of our ongoing consultation with the people that support NAPA, with our members and our supporters and our partners in the sector. And you know, so thank you to everybody who's played their part over those 23 years to enable us to launch the NAPA recognised activity professional status. So, Sue, in terms of the programme, this wider programme, this backdrop, this professional that's sitting on my shoulders here, can you tell us a little bit more about what we can expect this year?
What other new things we've got? Oh, well, this ties in very nicely with one of Georgina's comments about thinking about the workforce. And I think last year, actually, we got in, we were very lucky that we got some funding from the National Lottery Community Fund to set up a support group. We called it Isolated Not Lonely. And from that, the feedback we had was that activity coordinators in particular, because that's the group that we concentrate on, but care workers as well, actually found, you know, their mental health was affected. And so we wanted to address that this year, because COVID might be sort of waning down, but the effects of it, I think, are actually going to go up. So we have 3 courses at the moment. There's developing emotional resilience, which we have offered last year, but that's still ongoing. And then we will have health and, sorry, wait a minute, I'll get this round the right way. Health and mental well-being. And I was going to say wealth and mental well-being, but it's not. So I'll look it up in a second and I'll come back to you about that. So we've got those. We've also got the dementia awareness course that we do. We have a learning disability course that we do. So we've got lots. And all of that information is in the, oh, no, you can't see it now, this wonderful booklet. Which
and how can people get hold of the programme, Sue? When will that be available?
Well, when this webinar finishes, I will be emailing it to everybody that has attended.
Excellent.
In addition to that, it will actually be going out in the NAPA news this week, along with the video recording. So it will be out there. Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you. And do you think it would be well, it would be okay, because I say it's okay to say a little bit about the conference, about the NAPA conference that's come.
The NAPA got the Moving and Grooving, the Moving and Grooving conference, which is coming up on the 16th of June, I think it is. Still have a few spaces, and it's going to be an amazing event all about physical activity. And the facilitators in the afternoon vary from, I think there's yoga, dance, we've got Bollywood in there, we've got, and it's all trying sessions. So you've got half an hour where you actually try it. Yeah. There's dance in there. We've got specialist speakers in the morning. We've got exciting interludes as well going on during the day. So
don't give it all away. Don't give it all away, Sue.
I'm sorry. It's going to be really good. Hop over to our Eventbrite page, and all of our training that we have is on. There's lots. We have webinars on there, training day. We have all sorts. I think there's about 14 things on there.
Yeah, and it's ever developing, and so really just a call to our members and supporters out there. If there is a gap in this professional development programme, please get in touch with us, because we can always adapt and write and create programmes of learning that are appropriate to your staff, your teams, and we are looking towards being able to provide training face-to-face again from next year. Everything is online for this year. So we have obviously with us some real live activity professionals. So we'd love to hear a little bit from Graham and from Emma. Thank you both for being here, both of you. Can I start with you, Emma? Would you like to just say a few words about yourself and your role, and kind of what the NAPA qualifications have meant to you in your work?
So my name is Emma. I work at Soam Lodge Care Centre. I initially was an activities assistant. That then turned into activities and events manager, and just recently marketing and events manager. That all came about from doing the NAPA courses. So I did the first one, level 2, and I'm currently doing the level 3. And I feel like the course itself opened many doors for me, many different avenues. Within some of the coursework, it would speak about, community engagement. And I found from going into the community, networking, we started to do lots of intergenerational projects, generational projects. Even during times of COVID, we did that virtually. I've been promoted twice since doing the course, which is absolutely amazing. But through gaining all this knowledge, it's given me the confidence to be sure of myself. So if I had to go to the manager and say, oh, how about we do this? Or if we were doing a group activity, maybe we'll do this group first and then that group. But it just gave me a confidence within myself to understand what activity provision is, you know, the 10 core activity needs. I just learned a lot. I've been doing activities for a good year prior to doing the NAPA courses, but I would highly recommend doing these courses for anyone that's going into the activity provision. I learned so much about people living with dementia, therapeutic activities. I really learned a lot from it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Emma. I'll come back to you in a minute with a question. Graham, would you like to just say a little bit about yourself and your role and your qualifications?
Hello, I'm Graham. I've been doing activities quite a long time now. I started when I was just over 20 years in this care home. At the beginning, when there was nothing, there was no training and nothing like that. So yeah, it was nice to do some training at long last to do with my role in what I was doing here. So I did the level 2 when it first came out in around 2007, I think it was, roughly. And then Sue approached me to do the assessing for that course as well. So I've been doing that since then. And then I moved on to doing the activity leader course, level 3, when that first came out, which was really good. It was a lot more in depth than the level 2. Again, it was a lot harder, but that's what, you know, you expect from a more in-depth course. So yeah, it was well worth doing. I did, not with NAPA, but through Sue for long distance tutoring, helping out on with my assessing role. And I've been on numerous workshops that NAPA have done, the sensory one, creative one. I think we did a group activity one, group sessions. And so, yeah, there's been quite a lot of bits over the years that I've involved with. So, yeah, and it's really helped me in my role. I can vouch for that. A lot of the activities I'd started doing without the training, it was very spontaneous and not really, I mean, it has its place, spontaneous activity, but it enabled me to be much more structured in my work, and which revolved around what residents wanted to do, their preference. So I think doing the training actually helps you recognise then how meaningful your activity is for them. So yeah, it certainly helped me from the beginning. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Graham. And Emma, in terms of the actual completion of the qualifications, what difference do you think it's made to your practice?
Well, we currently, so for example, we've got a staff board, a timetable to say, you know, who's on in the kitchen, who's on housekeeping, whatever it may be. But when it comes to activity provision, it now says all. I think that's really, really effective because we now implement a whole team approach. So you've got the laundry, pairing socks, spontaneous activity, you've got the maintenance man dancing across, you know, the day room. But we're really encouraging a whole team approach to the point of the care assistants now taking one day each a week where they will do activity provision and take the time to do the things where they wouldn't usually be able to do in a carer's position, you know, all day long, kind of thing. But I can't say how much it has changed the lives of the residents, understanding one-to-one activities, group activities, life histories. From doing this course, I really understand now dignity, independence, promoting the autonomy of the resident, and just being person-centered and everybody getting involved. And it's been life-changing, not just for me, but for the residents also.
Yes, it's been life-changing. Wow, what a wonderful thing to hear. It's been life-changing. Thank you, Emma. And you say not just for me, but for the residents. What difference does it make to your residents, do you think, that you have this expertise?
So so it can be seen in many ways, like physically they're smiling more. So if you do a chair exercise on a one-to-one basis, they'll sleep better, they'll eat better, and it's just through really understanding the residents, their needs, their preferences, and through doing the course, like there's all different questions, whatever, but through researching the residents' lives, their care plans, speaking to family and friends, and just communicating and having like a good relationship with the whole team of staff, be it laundry, admin, maintenance, and just understanding that we're all working as one, I suppose.
Yeah, that's really, really great to hear. And that really comes across, that actually that ability to role model good practice and bring people with you, those leadership skills that we talked about, and that, you know, that recognition of, you know, actually coordinate, what does it mean to coordinate? Yeah. Is it just about organizing, you know, or is it more than that? What are those skills that are really required when you're taking people with you, and that whole home approach? Absolutely brilliant, Emma. Thank you. Graham, is there anything that you'd like to add to that in terms of your many years of experience and the impact that the qualification or the training that you've had? You mentioned other courses as well, and the impact that had on your residents. Anything to add?
Yeah, I think I echo what you're just saying about the team culture. I think that's an important thing, that people think they're on their own as an activity coordinator, because you might be the only person in the care home, but you've got everybody to join in with that, which, you know, again, that is brought up in the level 2 course, the team culture, and how important it is to do that. You know, even it goes down to simple as just having conversations just through the day. You know, it's little simple things like that. As I would say, one of the main benefits from doing this is you become more organised as well. Organisation is the key, I think, isn't it? If you're organised, your activity goes well, and then you'll get people wanting to join in and do that again. You know, if you're not organised, and I'm not doing that again, it's awful. You know, so the organisation side of it, I think it's good to have backup plans, of course, your contingency plan, but also you've what I'm trying to say is being like setting up things in advance, thinking ahead. You know, there's so much around what you do in your role. So and adapting as well, learning to adapt things quickly. There's quite a lot involved, and the training does help you with that there.
Good. Thank you both. That's really lovely. So what I'd really like to do now is I'd like to share with you this video from April Dobson, who was unable to be with us this afternoon, but as I said, is Hallmark Care Homes are long-standing members, and what they've done at Hallmark is to really embed the agenda of well-being right through their organisation. So she's going to tell us a little bit about that, and also just to share her support around the launch of the pathway. So this is the bit where I have to be confident about the tech and hope that it's all just going to work. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm April Dobson. I'm Head of Dementia Care and Wellbeing at Hallmark Care Homes. And whilst I can't be there today, I'm really delighted to be able to share in a different way in the launch of the NAPA Activity Professionals Pathway. At Hallmark, we absolutely recognise the enormous value that our lifestyles and activity teams bring to the table. They enrich lives and enhance people's wellbeing, and not by chance. It's through skilled and considered planning with each individual at the very heart of everything they've done. And within our organisation, I'm proud to say that we've done more than just recognise this, and we've invested heavily in lifestyles provision. For example, through the development of our Tree of Life Wellbeing strategy and the appointment of a national wellbeing manager. Every single home has a lifestyles lead who manages a lifestyles team, and the lifestyle leads are very much afforded manager status, just in the same way as other heads of departments in the homes. All of our lifestyle team members are working towards either the level 2 or level 3 qualification in activity provision with NAPA, and have benefited hugely from the support of Sue and the rest of the team at NAPA. So I guess the launch of the NAPA Activity Professional Pathway really takes this to the next level. It's an incredibly exciting progression, and what it will do is to help our teams to develop their skills further and actually give further recognition to the vital work that they deliver. And I know that one of NAPA's visions has been to raise the status of activity provision, and we now feel that we can do this with the launch of this pathway. Thank you, NAPA, for all the work that you've done, and look forward to hearing more about it.
Thank you very much to April. So, and I'm so pleased that the tech worked. So really, really nice of her to share that with us, and apologies from her that she couldn't be with us in person today. So we're going to go now to our chat to see, and Q&A, to see if there are any questions. So we've got a couple of questions about funding, and we've also got a question about about the process, about the progression pathway. So let me just start first of all with a question for Emma. There's a question that's coming which is very much about support whilst you're doing the qualification. So somebody here that said, please tell us a little bit about returning to study and the support that NAPA gave you whilst you were doing the qualification. And that's from Alan. Emma, I don't know if that's something that you might want to talk about.
Hi, Alan. So throughout doing my level 2, level 3, I had support throughout. So if I ever had a query, no matter how big, how small, I'd send an email to the NAPA team and they'd get back to me. If I needed more time to do a certain unit, they'd help with that. If I needed a breakdown of what the question was, I'd also get assistance with that. So it's not like you're just on your own doing like a distance learning course. There's always someone by your side happy to answer any questions or support you any way they can.
Brilliant, Emma, thank you for that. Have you got anything to add to that, Graham, in terms of the support you received during the qualification?
Yeah, well, it was quite a long time ago I did mine, but I remember if you had any problems whatsoever, there was you just rang up or leave a message, someone got back to you. In terms of questions and things, if you get a question wrong, it's not like that's the end of it, you can't do it again. You just get help in answering it back again in the right way, or you might miss out certain details which you need to cover in your answer. So there was lots of support there.
Yeah, and I have to say, in terms of the team at NAPA, obviously Sue's in the office and is at the end of the phone, but we also have the helpline as well. So, and the helpline is now managed by somebody who's actually done the level 3 themselves too. So we have those people on hand, but we can also put you in touch with other students who have completed or are doing the qualification, so that you can have some peer support as well, which I think is really, really important. Anything to add to that, Sue, in terms of support throughout the process?
No, we're here. You're not alone. The assessors give really good feedback. They don't sort of get something wrong and they go wrong. They actually give you robust feedback, tell you what's right, what's wrong, what you need to tweak, what you need to do, have a think about this. So they're there, the assessors, me as the tutor, everybody. We're here to support people because our aim is to help you achieve. That's what we're here for. So So,
Great.
thank you.
Lovely, thank you. I hope that answers that, Alan. We've also got a question, a couple of questions about funding actually, Georgina, and whether there is any support from Skills for Care around people doing qualifications. Could you say a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. If for those of you who don't know, Skills for Care disperse a fund annually on behalf of the Department of Health called the Workforce Development Fund. And for some years now, and I've lost count, I'm afraid, Hilary, but the level 2 and level 3 certificates have been supported through the Workforce Development Fund. So I'd absolutely, that fund, we receive it annually, we negotiate it annually with the Department of Health and Social Care, but certainly continues to be a priority area. So for anybody who hasn't accessed that fund before or even hasn't heard of that fund, all the information is available on the Skills for Care website. We've got a network of locality managers, so my colleagues who work across England, who are equally, their contact details are available on the website. So if you're interested in accessing that fund, get in touch, give us a call, and we can explain it and talk you through it.
Brilliant, Georgina, thank you very much. And Sue, in terms of how people pay for the course, question about payment and also timescales for completion.
Payment, we take money. We, anything. No, I'm being frivolous. Sorry. Payment. I will actually say this. I would say 95% of our students' courses are paid for by their employers, which is amazing. But it's the employer then can claim the funding back, and the individual can't claim funding back.
Yeah.
If an individual does want to do it themselves for whichever reason, then we're quite happy. We can arrange an instalment plan if they want to do that, particularly for the level 2 and the level 3. All the other courses we do sort of, but if needs be, we would offer the instalment plan for that.
Excellent.
Timescales for doing stuff. How long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
We appreciate. You've all got, students have families, they have work, they have lives, and some employers do give employees time within work to do the qualification, some don't, and that will all very much depend on your employer. So it's very much student-led as to how long it takes. The average for the level 2 at the moment is about 4 or 5 months, and the level 3 is probably 9 to 12 months. The e-learning courses are very quick, very short. So yeah, but we'll always, we're like an elastic band. If you need a little bit of extra time, we'll give it to you. If you want to hand it in early, hand it in early. So we're very flexible.
Lovely, great. And we have a question that's coming from our friend Jackie Paul. That's a supportive question, I think, around will we be lobbying to government to recognise the importance of activity provision and activity qualifications, and working with CQC for them to recognise the importance of the qualification. And there's one answer to that, Jackie, which is absolutely. So I will be coming to you for some support in that regard. So thank you for that question. I think, as we said, this has been 23 years, in development, and there's been a lot of consultation and a lot of lessons learned along the way, I would say. But absolutely, and I think our partnership with Skills for Care recognises the importance, but also, of course, absolutely with CQC too. So watch this space. Watch this space. So there is I suppose the last question really, which I'd really like to put that to the panel really, is just why now? Why suddenly is this agenda taking off? I mean, all these years of hard work in building the expectation around well-being in care settings, care homes, people's own homes, and where they might seek support during the day. What is it about now? Why is the time now? And I'll come to Georgina for that first, please. What is it about 2021, do you think?
I think, what a positive discussion we've had, but I suppose just looking back and still what we're experiencing in the sector, what huge challenges and what huge challenges that people across the sector have risen too. And I think there's a real sense that we must build on that progress. And I think this is one of a series of critical elements of doing that. It's great timing, well timed to the NAPA team, brilliant timing, and just a really positive discussion about how we can move learning and development for the workforce forward, and the obvious and fantastic implications that has for the people who use social care services and their families, which I think is the critical thing for all of us, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Beautifully put. Would any of you like to add anything to Georgina's points?
Yeah, I would. For me, I think now is a good time as well, because obviously in times of COVID, a lot of people didn't see their family and friends, and I think that almost compared it, like it made a sense of when you're feeling lonely, not seeing your friends and family, you can almost have that empathy with the residents, how they must be feeling on a day-to-day basis. And I think on the back of COVID, I think for me personally, I really now understand like the importance of combating loneliness, isolation, the importance of just having a chat, you know, with a resident.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's something that we could all relate to this year, isn't it? You know, that disconnect with people that we love and that we care about, and how important it is for people to have those connections. And that, you know, what we've seen, and we've been amazed across the NAPA membership, and particularly in social media, just the incredible examples of good practice, how activity coordinators and care teams have really gone out of their way to make sure that they really are making those connections for people and doing all they can to make sure that people are as in touch as possible with the people that they love and that love them. So, you know, amazing. We've been absolutely overwhelmed at NAPA when we've seen the incredible practice from right across the sector. So, you know, why not, I suppose, would be my answer to why now. Why not? Thank you all very, very much for being here this afternoon. Just a reminder to everybody that if you are a NAPA member, you receive significant discounts on training and qualifications. If you're not a NAPA member and you would like to become one, if you get in touch and quote NAPA Pathway 21, you will receive a £25 discount on your first year of registration. So please do get in touch with us and find out more if you're not already a NAPA member. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. Thank you to all our guests, our wonderful panel. We hope you enjoyed the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye for now.